Hello and happy Friday. I am Mary Mills and I will be your host today. Today's at-home strategy to reinforce learning and development will focus on science. We will discuss different strategies to promote science during the early years. First, we're just going to introduce science in young children. Young children beginning from birth are naturally curious about science, or the study of the natural world. They are drawn to questions that help them make sense of their world, like how birds fly, why leaves change colors, and why objects sink and float in the bathtub. At the same time, young children are also fascinated with the process of doing science, exploring cause and effect, discovering patterns, and much more. In the early years, children use scientific practices like making observations and noticing similarities and differences, asking questions, describing objects, animals, and plants, and natural processes like rainstorms, predicting what will happen next in a process, providing explanations for processes they observe, such as why there is thunder, and lastly, using tools to further explore, like binoculars or a shovel. By following your child's lead, describing their actions and discoveries, and guiding this learning will help your child begin to understand big ideas about science. Children also build skills through an understanding of concepts and ideas that cut across many areas of learning. These include cause and effect, patterns, scale, proportion and quantity, energy and matter, structure and function, and also stability and change. And here are some benefits of early childhood science. It fosters the desire to explore and experiment. They develop a love for science. Helps them develop analytical and problem-solving skills. Nurtures an understanding of cause and effect and also trial and error. Helps young children develop an understanding of the world around them. And it also supports the development of communication and collaborative skills. They learn team working skills, team building skills. Discovering science at home. These are some ways to discover science with your young children just around your home. Go for a walk with your children. Discover answers together. Problem solve. Care for your animals, the plants in your front yard, trees and gardens together. Talk about the different vegetables in your garden. Talk about the flowers. And find science all around you. Supporting science at home. There's so many different ideas that you can do with your young children to support their science skills. I have just included just a few just to give you an idea and some examples, starting from young infants to preschoolers. Young infants, 0 to 12 months. Play games that help your baby understand cause and effect. For example, figuring out the doors and buttons on a busy box, or learning to flick the light switch from your arms. Mobile infants, 12 to 24 months. Give your child opportunities to explore the natural world through their senses, like looking at, touching, and tasting different fruits at snack time. You can ask questions like, what do you see? What does it feel like? How does it taste? Talk about what feels smooth or rough and the colors you see, or how food tastes sweet or sour. Toddlers, 24 to 36 months. You can give your toddlers simple tools to safely explore and discover, like a magnifying glass to look closely at the colors and textures of vegetables before you put them in the salad, or using a strainer to separate leaves from sand in the sandbox. Children love to explore different objects. And lastly, my preschoolers, 3 to 5 years. Encourage children to notice the plants and animals in their world. Offer them a little bag or bucket to collect different leaves, rocks, or seeds at the park. Talk about all the animals you see on your walk. Where do they live? What do they eat? Talk together about your child's observations and questions. And remember, it's okay if you don't have all the answers. Just let your child know we can find out together. And finally, let's experiment. This activity can be done for mobile infants, toddlers, and preschoolers. It's called Sink or Float. This is a simple activity that can be done indoors and outdoors, and it doesn't require a lot of materials or preparation. The only materials that are needed: a large container, this can be a bin or even a bucket, water, and toys around your household that can either float and sink. And make sure when you are gathering these toys, they're for different age ranges, like for mobile infants up to your preschoolers. Some items that will sink, this is just a few examples: metal utensils, coins, stones, keys. You can do blocks for your younger children. Make sure, when you're using coins or those small objects that can sink are for your older children, because your younger will want to put those in their mouth, etc. A few items that float can be Legos, foam shapes, bathtub toys, rubber balls, sticks, crayons, popsicle sticks, etc. And before I go on to learning opportunities, I'm going to go over the directions. It's really simple. You'll fill the bin or the bucket, whatever you use, with water. You'll collect objects around the house. You can also make part of the activity a scavenger hunt, maybe for your older children. Make a list of objects to locate around your house, just to make it more fun, more entertaining. As you're collecting the items, get your children to make predictions if they think the item will sink or float. After collecting the objects, children will drop the objects into the water. For older children, parents can make this activity more challenging by asking questions, such as, why did some objects float and some did not? Ask questions about the particular objects. Do you think this object will sink? Why or why not? And learning opportunities. It develops language. It encourages cause and effect, also trial and error. Promotes their scientific thinking. Makes connections with the real world. And you can also extend this activity for preschoolers by giving children drinking straws to blow the objects around. Teaches children about kinetic energy, as the air they blow through the straw propels the floating items forward. Thank you all for joining me today. I would love to stay connected with you all. Email me with any questions or topics you would like to learn more about. Mary@cdl.org. Thank you.